Well, welcome back to another Coffee and a Chat. It is a beautiful sunshiny day today, which I am very happy about because today I am going to start planting seeds for my garden. Yeah, for my garden. I will start in the greenhouse, and then I've got a raised bed area with a big gate on it. I call it my garden gate. And I put things out there that, need something to climb on. And then we've got, I need to get the strawberry bed. Got a nice raised strawberry bed, and I need to get that all cleaned up. And we will probably next couple of weeks rototill up the garden and get it all ready to go for the big ground garden, which we are hopefully expanding this year so we can grow more food. And the reason we're going to grow more food is, okay, I think the older I've gotten, the more sensitive I seem to be to chemicals. And so when I'm eating food, processed food, or just even the fresh fruits and vegetables that I can get it, from the grocery store or whatever, everything's been changed so much in the pesticides they use. Even organic food, when you buy organic, evidently it doesn't have to be 100% organic. It just has to be a certain percentage, and then they can, be certified organic. So even my organic things that I might buy can come with chemicals, some chemicals on them, not as much as the others, but some. And so I can tell in my body, I start getting, the achy joints, headaches, fog brain. And if you know me very well, I can't afford for it to be any more foggy than it already is. Oh, man. So, I have those issues. And of course, you tend to want to put on weight. Your body does when you're not eating clean. And so when Marvin and I, when we grow food, we grow it as clean and as organic as we possibly can. There's no way to be 100% because we can't control what comes down with the rain or what blows off of somebody else's yard or field. And so, you're going to have some contamination, but we try not to add to it. So, I'm excited because today, last night I was putting some stuff together, and it's like, okay, it's time. There's some things I can start planting now. So I look forward to when these seeds, when the little plants start popping up, and I don't know, maybe I'll take you out to the garden some this year and show you some of this stuff as it's coming up, and just do my little video out there. I love being in the garden. And then when we'll be harvesting food, but I want to be able to put up more food than what I did last year. Last year, I think I put up more than I did the year before. I think each year I've put up more, and we've expanded a little more. But it wasn't enough to get us all the way through winter. And so we're out of all that good garden food. We're ready for it. And yet it's going to be a little while till we'll have anything to harvest. So I want to be able to put up more. I already talked to Marvin about it this morning, and just, the feeling, this body is the only body I get. And it's been with me since birth, and it's going to stay with me until the day I take my last breath on this earth. So if I have to spend my life in this body, I wish I would have had this conviction much earlier in life. But if I'm spending my whole life in this body, then I want it to be as in good a shape as it can be to carry me through those days. I want to physically feel as good as I possibly can. I want to be mentally as sharp as I can. I have made huge changes in my lifestyle, and there will be more to come. Every time, as I have more conviction come on me, I change things. You come into my house, there is no aluminum foil in my house. None. Because my conviction is that stuff is not good for us. And cutting that out, cut down on a few headaches and things that I was having. And, just kind of, common sense, research, all of that, the things that I've learned in life, trying to keep my body in shape. And that's a joke. It ain't in shape. but trying to be as healthy as I can. Yeah, I I don't know if I've said this to you guys before. Marvin actually said it the other day. You know, he's stealing my stuff. But, you know, this lady one time, you know, was saying something about how, oh, you know, she just needed to lose some weight and it was just bothering her and stuff. And I go, now me, I have the perfect body. I have a perfect, gorgeous, 120-pound, delicious body. It is amazing. And it is so amazing. I've put all this padding around it to protect it. And she looked at me for a minute. Then she figured it out and started laughing. She goes, that's good. I'm going to use it. And so one of our daughters was here for a few days. And we were sitting there talking to her. I don't remember what the thing was. And I think I said something about, you know, how I needed to lose some weight or whatever. And he goes, oh no, he goes, see, my wife has the most perfect, gorgeous body. I mean, it is drop dead gorgeous. And, you know, and so we're protecting it by making sure we've got some padding around it so it doesn't get damaged. I was like, oh my word, you're stealing my thing here. But anyway, and when I got up this morning, you know, with, you know, because I'm having all this stuff about nutrition and stuff, because I'm getting excited about the garden and how our nutrition is going to go up and we're going to feel better and not be so tired. I mean, you can tell a difference with what we consume. And then, you know, there was a video that in my feed, and it was one of the channels that I watch, and they're followers of Christ, and they grow like almost 100% of their own food, and they produce almost all their food. I mean, they've got cattle and everything, you know. It's a big thing. It's just two people, same age as Marvin and I, but they're doing way better than we are. And but they've got a lot of acreage, and they've been doing it for a long time, so they're way ahead of us. And he was talking about the nutrition and stuff, but then he started to also talk about how our bodies as followers of Christ are the temple of the Holy Spirit, that the Spirit of God literally dwells in here with us. Our spirit and soul's in here, and so is the Spirit of God, that he is with us. And, you know, and so we're supposed to treat this temple as a temple, not abuse our body. And so, and I was thinking, like, I think it's Romans 12:1, where it says to present our bodies as a living and holy sacrifice. And I used to like not get what that meant. And more I am, as I just chew on that, you know, I get it, that it's you know, offering our body as a sacrifice, of doing the right things with it so that it serves us well, and it is a good place for the Holy Spirit to dwell. And well, okay, it being a good place for the Holy Spirit to dwell isn't probably all that much about our nutrition physically as it is our nutrition spiritually. And that's kind of what I wanted. I mean, I hope you guys are trying to have good nutrition and keep your body through nutrition and exercise and all, being as healthy as you can be and not abusing your body, because like I said, it's got to serve you all your days. Wouldn't you like it to be a good place to dwell and not something falling apart, you know? And so if there's anything that we can do to make our bodies better and healthier, I think we should. But the Lord began to really deal with me with the conviction of what we're putting into our body otherwise, like through our eyes, through our ears, and not just what we consume through our mouth. And it made me think, okay, because, you know, are we spending a lot of time doing video games, or are we spending a lot of time just sitting mindlessly in front of the TV? Or, you know, what consumes our time and how much of it gets eaten up? And so I began to think about when I was married to my first husband, he was supposed to go to this convention every year for his job that was in Las Vegas. So every year we would go to Las Vegas for like 5 days. And that was an eye-opener on many levels. But when you're there, everywhere you go, when you get off the plane at the airport, lines and lines of slot machines, just waiting for you, bells going off, people playing them, and, just calling your name. And so you can, first thing off the plane, you can play a slot machine. And then the last thing before you get on the plane to go home, you can be playing slot machines. And of course, all the hotels have, the casinos and stuff. You can't go anywhere without walking through these slot machines. But there's another, besides it just being there, calling out to you, there's other things they do. Like when you're there, you'll notice there are no windows in any of the casinos. It's even difficult to find a door that will take you out of the casino. It's just these endless places. There's no clocks. There's nothing that would allow you to sense the passage of time. So basically, it's designed so time stands still. And then the other thing is, like, every little thing, even if you just were to win 1 penny, to get something, on the slot machine, all these bells and lights go off, and it gets, it triggers an excited reaction in a person's body, so that it makes it feel like it's much bigger than what it is, much greater than what it is. And you wanting to hear those bells, you're wanting to see those lights, like, oh, I'm making money. And I've watched people, I've played, I'll confess, I've played slot machines before too. And I found that they're very dangerous and, and not a good use of my time. So not really my thing. I would really avoid ever putting the first coin in or anything, because it can suck you in so easily and you don't even realize it. But the other thing that I watch is, like, they'd win big money. Then they would take their ticket, go cash it in at the cashier, take that money, and go start playing more slots. And I've wondered how many people really go home with any money in their pocket from the slot machine, let alone being ahead. Because it's designed, it's programmed for you to lose eventually, because the house has to win. So I'm thinking, like in life, it's that way. It's like, okay, Marvin and I, we don't have cable TV or anything like that. So we watch things off of, some of those freebie places on the internet. And so we'll find an old TV show that we like, and we'll sit down and start watching it. Well, it just plays episode after episode after episode, and pretty soon you're in another season, and it just keeps on going. It's on demand. And before you know it, a couple of hours have gone by and you don't even realize it. And you look at the clock and it's like, oh my goodness, I got to get up. I got to go do something. It's very easy to get sucked into that mindlessness. Same thing if you start, if you're into playing like computer games or games on your phone or whatever. There's one that I like that it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and, and you put the pieces together to, build the puzzle. And I like jigsaw puzzles anyway. The computer ones don't really help my brain, but like if I'm like a little off, because I had a brain injury many years ago. And so sometimes my brain it's like it just kind of slips a little bit off the track. And I can, for whatever reason, doing a jigsaw puzzle kind of puts everything back in line. And so, boom, there it goes, and so I can sit down and work on a jigsaw puzzle for a little bit, and pretty soon everything is back to where it's supposed to be. Just something that works for me. It's like, I used to have a friend who their back used to go out, and there was an exercise that as long as they did that, it kept their back strong and they didn't have that issue. But if they let off one day, then they would start having issues with their back. And so I guess that's just kind of exercise for my brain. It works for me. And it's what I usually do. Well, I found, a game on the computer that is a puzzle, but it does not cause my brain to go back on the track if it needs to. But it's easy to sit there and get caught up in that, and before you know it, an hour's gone by. Well, how we spend our time. Think of this. In Vegas, they're designing things to try and get you to stay at that machine. They don't want you going out and doing a bunch of stuff. They want you to spend your whole time at that machine, because then they're taking your time, they're taking your money, and that's how they succeed. Well, don't you think the enemy knows how to do that? And don't you think that he loves it when we get so consumed with other things? You know, I have some kids and grandkids that are very into playing, you know, these different games that they can play online with other people. You know, they wear the headset and they can talk to them and whatnot. And I've got several of them that are very into that, and that can consume most of their time. And yeah, I guess you're having fun and it's entertaining or whatever, but you're not doing anything productive. See, if Marvin and I, if we don't get our butts up off that couch, then all the good intentions and all the seeds that we've saved or even put in the ground to grow, if we're not out there watering it and pulling the weeds out and doing the things that we need to do to help those plants have the best environment to grow as possible so we can harvest the biggest harvest possible, none of that will happen if we just allow ourselves to be mindlessly carried off somewhere. There are people, seriously, that I know of that do not have jobs because they can't get off the couch long enough to go get one, because they're sitting there mindlessly watching TV or playing a game. They're hooked on it. They're addicted to it. And it's a lot easier than we think for that to happen. So today, the Lord is not only talking to me about the physical nutrition that I put in my body, but the spiritual nutrition that I put in there as well. Am I feeding the right things into me? And am I up and being productive? Because it is getting more and more important every day to be productive than it was the day before. It is the direction of the world we live in. And yet we have so many things around us that are just like Las Vegas. They're designed for us time to stand still so we don't even know that it's passing us by. So it's been a wake-up challenge for me today to look at what I'm doing with my time and putting away the wasteful things. See, I'm redoing my house and getting rid of the things that just take effort to do upkeep, but produce nothing. You know, we kind of have this feeling now that, you know, you've got to be productive or you've got to go. And there was like even a piece of equipment that Marvin, I don't remember what it was yesterday, but that he was talking about that's giving him some grief. And he's like, it's either going to get productive or it's going to the scrapyard. But if you have to work, if you're here, you have to work. Even if you're a machine, you have to be productive. You have to be helping for the survival of those who are here on Jehovah Jireh, on our land. So, you know, we've had the possibility, of a grandson moving home or whatever and coming to live here for a while, and that's fine. But he'll be required, and he knows this, and, that he has to be productive while he's here. He can't just come and think we're going to wait on him and he can just sit around and do whatever he wants. No, he will have to go to work too. He will be, busy in the garden and producing firewood and whatever we have to do for survival. And, and honestly, that, if you, especially if you're in my generation, that's the way most of us grew up, is everybody in the family contributed. It was the only way we could survive. And the generation before us, our parents, they were growing up in the Depression. Definitely, that was the case. And, say that there should be another Depression. Do you even know what the Depression was? Do you even know what is required if suddenly you're going to only have you to depend on for your survival, to produce the things you need, that it wouldn't be so easy to get things? We've had periods of that happen here in the last few years. And even our government here in America has told us there's shortages of different things and that we're soon going to feel it. So we don't have any time to waste. It's time to get busy. It's time to be productive. And we will feel better emotionally, spiritually, and physically for it. I guarantee you. Okay, so I just wanted to leave that thought with you today because that's kind of where my thoughts are. And I just felt the Lord wanted me to come and share that with you. And maybe just put a little challenge out there to look at what are you doing with your life? What are you feeding your body? And what are you feeding your mind? And what are you feeding your soul? And what are you feeding your spirit? Because it does matter. We need good nutrition all the way around. All right. With that, I'm going to go get busy and go look at my seeds and see what I'm going to go put in the ground today. And I'm excited about it. All right. I love you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you know every time a new video comes up. Like, share, and leave me a comment. I love the comments. If you want to contact me in another way, look at the description of this video. I have an email address and I have a P.O. box, and you can contact me those ways as well. All right, you guys have an awesome day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.